Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with yet another box. Oh, they're endless. Coming from Decca, well, actually Deutsche Grammophon, Eloquence in this case, but Australia, from Cyrus Mayer Homji and the folks at Australia Eloquence, the complete Rudolf Firkušný. Oh my goodness, what a great pianist he was. The greatest Czech pianist of the 20th century, and a brilliant artist all around. Here we have all of his recordings for American Decca, Deutsche Grammophon, Westminster, wherever they could grab them from their megamore, their huge conglomerized, collection of everything that lots of people recorded. Now, Firkušný actually was, for most of his career, an EMI artist, EMI capital in the United States, because he was a refugee from communist Czechoslovakia. He settled in the U.S., and we really need a wonderful new Firkušný edition from Capitol, nicely remastered. There were some of those things. He made a bunch of recordings with William Steinberg and whatnot. He was very, very well known for that kind of stuff. So let's see what we have in here. We have 12 CDs. I'm including something that's new to the catalog. As an artist, let's just say generally, Firkušný was known for being somewhat on the objective school, the objective spectrum, you might call it, although his most noteworthy recordings were music by Janáček, which is kind of fascinating because Janáček was anything but objective. He was all over the place. But that's a whole other story. But in his classical repertoire, he was very poised and I think very accomplished and exciting. And his Beethoven Emperor Concerto was kind of legendary. He recorded it a couple of times, including a really fine one in here that no one ever talks about, which I think is kind of amazing. But let's just take these one disc at a time, shall we? Let me see if I can open this. There we go. And we're going to go through the 12 discs. By the way, just if you don't have this, get it, because he really was just a terrific pianist. I know there's so many terrific pianists, but what can I say? First, he does the original pictures at an exhibition, and he does it extremely well. He really, really does. It sounds marvelous. Absolutely marvelous. It has grandeur in the Great Gate and wonderful skittishness in Limoges, and the grotesquerie of Gnomus is well done, and the promenades are stately, but the whole thing really coheres. Czechs always have a good sense of rhythm, and that is very, very useful here, along with Ravel's Jeu d'eau and Two Miroirs, Alborada del Gracioso and La Vallée des Cloches. So this was recorded, let's see, in the Redutenzhall somewhere in Germany in 1960. So there you go. And it was a Deutsche Grammophon recording, which nobody's ever paid attention to, because everyone goes Richter, 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 Richter. Well, there are other people besides Richter. So try that. Then we've got the Brahms cello sonatas with Pierre Fournier. Now, this is famous. These are famous recordings, extremely well known. And I've loved this set of Brahms cello sonatas because, I don't really like the Brahms cello sonatas. What I mean is, they always sound to me, and I've said this before, like they're written for two separate instruments that aren't getting along very well. Well, here they get along. These are wonderfully well integrated, sensitive performances, and I enjoy them enormously. I really do. These were recorded in 1965 for Deutsche Grammophon, and these are well known because of Pierre Fournier. What do you want? Hang on a minute. We have to do a thing here. Hi, Mildred. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, that's a good girl. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Here we go. That's it. Come here. Shh. Shh. It's okay. She wants to play fetch. That's what it is. And that's why she's making all that noise. Let go. I'm going to let you down, and we're going to play fetch. There you go. So, hang on. Up, here you go. Okay. I know, you probably hate it when I get interrupted like this. Here is, or you find it more interesting than Firkušný. Ready? Go! Okay. Whew. She's brutal. She's absolutely brutal. Okay, what have we got? The Brahms cello sonatas. Yes, they're marvelous. Pardon that interruption. Okay, Janáček. Yeah, Janáček was his teacher. He studied composition, actually, not piano, under Janáček. They were very, very good friends. Firkušný was quite young. at the time, but they apparently got along fabulously. They loved each other, and he was the ultimate exponent of Janáček's piano music, which he recorded for Deutsche Grammophon, and the Concertino and Capriccio, the two piano and chamber ensemble works with Raphael Kubelik, and their iconic reference recordings, period, forever. So there you go. He redid them for RCA too, later in his career, some of them anyway, but that's the set to have. And that's in here, which is great. Then there's this Beethoven Emperor Concerto with the New Philharmonia and Yuri Siegel from 1973 that nobody ever mentions. It's a very, very fine performance. It has impetus, and it has wonderful give and take between the solo and the orchestra. It's a very good account of the orchestral performance, too. It's with the New Philharmonia. It's good. It's really good. And, it's better sounding than his Capitol Emperor Concerto, which was old. I think it was mono, actually, or if it was stereo, it was early, and it needs to be remastered. Let's put it that way. Then we've got 3 Beethoven sonatas, the Moonlight, the Pathetique, and the Waldstein. These were Phase 4 recordings from 1975. They never got much praise. His Beethoven, like I said, it was more on the classical. I don't know if it's even classical. It was urgent. It was quick. It was not. It was quick, but it wasn't like grand and overweening. And so there was something about it. I don't know. I like it because it's exciting. I just think it's exciting, and other people will like more detail and stuff like that. But I'm not a piano person anyway. So for me, I just have always found them exciting performances, even though they get not so much attention again. Then we've got the Dvořák Piano Concerto. Now, he owns the Dvořák Piano Concerto. Firkušný did. This is his Westminster recording, and it's the version edited by Willem Koorts, which was made more amenable to standard keyboard technique than Dvořák's somewhat awkward original version. But Dvořák's original version wasn't awkward because he didn't know how to write for the piano. He was an organist. He played the piano. He knew what to do. He just decided he was going to write a very symphonic and kind of clunky piano concerto, and it's a wonderful work. It's wonderful. Richter said it was the toughest piece he ever had to play. Anyway, it's really, really good. And Firkušný recorded it, I think, 3 or 4 times, a whole bunch of times. And afterwards, he started using Dvořák's original. Even here, he doesn't use entirely Koorts and sometimes uses the original, but it doesn't matter. It's really a fine performance with the Wiener Staatsoper. This is a Westminster recording, I believe. And yes, Westminster under László Somogyi, whatever his name is. Then we've got his violin sonata recordings with Erica Morini, which are also sort of legendary in chamber music circles. He was a fabulous chamber music partner. Really, really, but he was able to be sensitive and giving, but also unfailingly imaginative and interesting while he was doing that. That's a gift. That's really a gift. You got the Franck Sonata. Yay! Franck Sonata, Mozart's Violin Sonata number 33, Kerschel 481, one of the late big ones, which is wonderful. And more violin sonatas, number 17 by Mozart, and Beethoven's third violin sonata, it's Opus 12, number 3. Beethoven's Spring Sonata, the C minor Sonata, Opus 30, number 2, and the Beethoven Violin Sonata, Opus 8 in G major, Opus 30, number 3, the Brahms Violin Sonata, number 3. All of these are wonderful performances, and of course there is, desirable for Erica Morini fans, and there's of course an Erica Morini box out there somewhere, so all this stuff is in that too. But if you didn't care about the violin playing, you were more interested in the pianist, well, here they all are. So that's nice to have. It's really nice. It's a beautiful legacy from a really, really musically generous and giving partnership that I enjoy hearing all the time. And then a recording that was never issued. It was recorded for Deutsche Grammophon and it never came out. Go figure. The Mozart Duport variations, 9 variations on a minuet by Duport. And here's the big item, the Schubert B flat sonata, D960, number 21, the big one. Okay, does not have the exposition repeat the first movement. Some people will have a nervous breakdown, although Alfred Brendel never took it in either, and other people don't. It's a beautiful, flowing, and like all of his sort of German classical stuff, there's a certain vivid rhythmic undertow to his playing that's really I think, very, very affecting and powerful. And you can't have too many Schubert Sonata number 21s. I mean, it's one of those works that you just collect billions of. And it's new. It's new to disc. So that's really great to have. It's a stereo recording from, wait a minute, let me tell you when it was. Here we go. There it is. First release, 2020, recorded in 1963 in New York by Israel Horowitz, who did, what was he, Vanguard or something like that, and that stuff. Well, anyway, yes. I mean, really, it was one of the American Decas at the time, actually. It was supposed to be anyway, and it was, or he did the American Deca stuff, and it's Deutsche Grammophon. It's a DG recording that never got released, so that's really valuable to have this come popping out. And, Firkušný, really a name that does not deserve to descend into oblivion, and you've got certain completely fabulous things here. I mean, his Morini stuff is great. The Janáček stuff is self-recommending. His Emperor Concerto was like one of his calling card works, and he plays it superbly well. It's a very, very nice set. Well worth investigating, I think. So there you go. Give it a shot. See what you think. Thank you, Mildred. Normally, when I'm doing these things, she sits over by the door and just sort of whines, letting me know that she's there, but she doesn't bother me until I'm done. But for some reason, she just was desperate this time. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me and Mildred. Take care.